You're a worldwide figure now, Tyson.
I actually came here 5 years ago, believe it or not. When the Riyadh season first started, it was nowhere near as big as this. It was tiny compared to this. It only had maybe 8 or 9 countries when it was here at the beginning. I came here with the WWE. I was wrestling. I wrestled Braun Strowman here at the Crown Jewel. So you had to come back 5 years later and be the emperor of the boxing here. It's unbelievable, isn't it?
WWE's going crazy at the minute, Tyson. Do you fancy a piece of The Rock?
It's a fancy piece of anybody if the money's right. But WWE, no, I'm not cheap. So Vince, if you're watching, get your checkbook out, son.
He's not there anymore.
Well,
whoever's there, whoever you are.
Hunter, if you're watching, son. Expensive.
All right, guys, you've obviously got an amazing rapport. We see it only really when it comes to like a fight week or a promo for a fight. But what's your relationship like when the cameras aren't rolling? How close are you guys?
It depends. I mean, you know, we've got our own lives, we've got our own family lives. I'm always busy. Tyson, I mean, he's forever busy, really. I know he spends a lot of time at home, but he's always got something on him. You're always doing.
I have, yeah. I'm always doing my dogs or bins or whatever I'm doing. Or if I'm not doing that, I'm doing shows and stuff. So it's hard to get time. And we live so far apart. Like it's like we live in a foreign country, each other. He lives in London, I live in Morecambe Bay. So it's a long time apart. You can probably get to Riyadh quicker than you can get to London from Morecambe by car. So yeah. But we do have a few outings, don't we, Spencer? We're down your favourite restaurants.
We do.
Frank?
It's a nice time, and it's for me, it's a joy. You know, because I really, you know, this journey's been brilliant. Most importantly for Tyson, but it's been brilliant for me, and to be involved in it has just been something special. Especially, you know, at my time in life, it just keeps getting better and better. I'm loving every moment, and obviously I enjoy the relationship that we've got.
Yeah, well, that journey recently has just had a couple of bumps in the road when it comes to the Usyk fight. You know, it was set for December, and then it got pushed back to February, and now it's locked in for May. How have you dealt with some of the hurdles that have come your way, like mentally and physically?
I've never had any mental issues, really, because then life happens. That's a little saying that I've learnt along the way, and to get used to it as well, to understand it. That shit does happen in life when you're mostly unexpecting it. So once you get to terms with that sort of thing, then anything can happen. And you know, life goes on. It won't be the first time, it definitely won't be the last. And there's another little saying, worse things have happened at sea. So, you know, it's only a postponement and we get to do it later on. So what was supposed to be in life will always be. And God's timing is perfect. It ain't late, it ain't early, it's precisely perfect. Remember that.
And I think, you know, I always believe it. I always say, out of bad comes good. And maybe that will work in Tyson's favour. I mean, he was in immaculate shape and condition. And obviously he'll get back into his serious training, in a few weeks' time.
Yeah.
But you haven't got to shift weight
I'm
so it's very good. You know, to reach his peak again, he'll work his programme out. And I think, and I know I keep saying it to everybody, I'm telling you, he is going to do a job. I'm not saying it's because he's here. I think you're going to see something ultra amazing on the night. The biggest fight of the 21st century.
It is, and
sure.
You've said in the past, Tyson, that like legacy doesn't mean that much to you.
No.
What is it that's driving you to want to become the unified champion?
The money. Dollars in my bank accounts. Yeah. Basically, feeding me kids and their kids. And there's never going to be. But I got nothing to prove to anyone. Excuse me French, right? I got nothing to prove to them. I could have retired when I beat Dylan White Wembley with 94,000. Legacy intact, could have walked away, whatever. But I thought to myself, there's never going to be an opportunity for someone that's come out of me to ever be able to earn 100 million in one night, yeah? Ever. I don't care what they become, it's very difficult to get that amount of money. So I could have walked away then in 2020 when I probably would have been 49 stone by now. However, I decided I'm going to dig in a little bit longer and make as much money as I can out of it, because I know our word ad is to earn a few quid in the normal world, and not everybody can be a superstar, not everybody can be a heavyweight champion of the world. So I read this saying about 15 years ago. Someone in my family has got to stand and fight. At some point in life, we all have to stand and fight. So it may as well be me. I am the man to stand and fight. In my generation and my life and my breed, my people, I'm the fighter. So no one better than me to stand and fight for what I believe in and what I think is right. So that's why I'm doing it. and the fact I get to add a few more belts to the cabinet. I don't know where I'm going to put them. I've got that many, Frank. I haven't got space for them.
It's amazing. I mean, do you remember you
I've
laid
got
them all? Do you remember you laid
22
them all out?
belts now, or 23 maybe. Yeah,
This man's trousers will never fall down.
definitely not. There's no falling my pants down. However, there's also another few accolades that come with it other than the money. First undisputed champion since the 90s. That's got to mean something. The first, however many belts there is, 5 or 6 belts, world championship and heavyweight. Yeah. And there's never really been 2 undefeated world heavyweight champions fighting each other for a long time either. Since me and Wilder done it.
I think it's the first time for 4 belts.
Yeah.
I think it is.
So we've got the WBC, WBA, IBF, IBO, WBO, Ring Magazine and Lineal.
Yeah.
So the Ring Magazine's an award and so is Lineal. So yeah, there is 5 belts.
And the special Saudi belt.
Oh, there's loads, about 6, 7, 8 belts maybe. So all them things aside, what else do I do it for? I suppose to keep myself fit and healthy, give myself a purpose in life while I'm still only 35. And that's it really. There's people would say, well, oh, you're boxing for the accolade of being a champion and all that stuff, and I'll say this, why do you think I rap for? To push fucking Rapport? I don't think so. That's Kanye, that, by the way. So you do it for the dough. Yeah. At first, when you're coming up, you want to be a champion. You want to win a title. You want to win a British title. You want to win European. You want to win a world title. You want to buy a house. You want to buy a car. You want to buy a watch. And then, if you're daft enough, like me, you want to just keep going as well, just to see how long you can continue for. When everybody else says, you know what, Ty, you maybe should stop now. You've got all your faculties in order. You've made tons of money. You've got everything there is to offer on this planet. And I'm just like, well, you know, you're not the one in there having to battle it out. And I actually love the thrill of the fight as well as the dough, as well as everything else that comes with it. I like to have a scrap now and again. And
that level of honesty. Go on, Frank.
Well, I was just saying, we was talking yesterday. It reminded me years ago when we were talking about it, and you said when you was young,
yeah,
you wanted to be world champion. That was where was your dream, and obviously your dream has come true in a big way.
Yeah.
But I also, you know, I may be wrong, but I always think that you love training. You're always training, and I always remember, you know, sort of when we were working together early days, it's when am I fighting? What date have I got?
Yeah.
And it's like, so I feel that the training has to have a purpose.
Yeah.
You know, you're training for it, and that maybe that gets you up in the morning.
It does. But the thing is, we can't do it forever, Frank, because age catches us all.
Well, we won't let you do it forever. I mean, whether you want to or not.
Yeah.
Because somebody's got to be. The one thing what happens in the sport, in my opinion, I think the boxer always knows. He's the first to know when he should stop, but he's the last to admit it. And it's up to the people around him to, you know, sit down and say, hang on a minute, it's too long. But, you know, I can only speak as honestly, in my experience. I don't think Tyson's got miles on the clock. He's had a few tough fights.
I've had lots of tough fights.
Can we just briefly roll back a little bit to the cut, Tyson?
Yeah.
I just think it'd be interesting for fans of yourself and just viewers in general to know that what that process was like in real time. Like when you realised there was blood, what was the immediate reaction? Like when did Frank find out? Like just talk us through that moment.
What is it that you want to know? I got punched in the face with an elbow. It cut me, blood everywhere. I knew it was instant cut as soon as he happened. I shouted, cut. And everyone was a bit crazy and shouting and screaming. But listen, you can't cry over spilled milk. It is what it is. We knew instantly the fight was off. I had a massive gash above the eye. But you can't do anything about it, can you? It's only a cut, and no one's died, have they?
No.
And when I was saying to the boys, don't worry, it's only a few quid. I'll earn it again. Do you know what I mean? It's a cut. A few quid down the line. I get it again. Not the end of the world.
You are a philosophical person.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, you never, you know, I should, you know, immediately, obviously, I think anyone would be, you know, massively disappointed, but you reset your mind to say, right, hang on, we got a date. That date was worked out very quickly.
But when I got the date, like a day later, everything was hunky-dory, really. It was all good.
Great.
Frank, everyone knew straight away. I had a gym full of people, so it was hard to contain.
Well, the fight's still incoming, and we've obviously got a big fight on Friday night. If everything shakes out the way that I think a lot of boxing fans want it to, do you think that after Undisputed, and you're successful, that AJ Fury is the biggest fight in world boxing?
No, because I'm fighting the fight of the century, and AJ's been already tonked twice by the little man. So he can't be involved in the question. When it comes to Usyk and AJ, so no, it's already been done on it, Frank, twice. So you can't even compare the men. So I'm fighting his.
Both undefeated.
So he's a Slade already, AJ. So he's out of the question anyway. He's not even in it anymore. And I've got to beat him, which is no easy task. I know I keep saying he's a bum and all that, but he is a tough competitor. And if he wasn't, then he wouldn't be in the position he's in, would he? In a fight. So he's the fight of the century. I've named it that because it's really that. You've got him who's beat AJ and Chisora and Dubois, and I beat Wilder 3 times, Dylan White and him. Klitschko. So we've wiped them all out, and Klitschko as well. So this is the last 2 standing. He wasn't even in it a few years ago. It was only AJ who let him give him a foot in the door. So, well, he was a 3-headed monster at one stage, the Gypsy King, Wilder and AJ. Wilder gets knocked out by the GK, and Joshua gets tonked by the Ukrainian dosser. So, there was only me left, last man standing. I've done it. However, we continue and continue and continue, because that's what mugs do. We keep going till there's no more left to give.
It's a massive fight. It's a massive event.
Yeah.
Not just in boxing, but in world sport. And you know, like when England the World Cup, when we won, you remember it, you weren't about. But when I was a kid, the whole country stops. And I think for this fight, it's going to be the same. It's a unification fight. It's not going to be a sports story. It's going to be a news story.
Yeah.
And everybody will want to be here to watch it happen. It is history. And there are times in your life when you look at sporting history and you're part of sporting history, and it's driven by Tyson. And I know what he says, what he feels about titles, but down the road, and he'll say I don't care, but I care because I love to hear it. Every time he's introduced somewhere, the undisputed world champion, 4 belts, he did it. Nobody else has done it. He did it, and you can't take it away. And I tell you what, for his family, for his children, your that's my dad. I mean, they don't get any better.
They say that now, though, can't they?
Yeah, of course they can.
And when you get introduced years down the line, no one cares. Any just another bear bomb in the shower, aren't you?
No, I don't agree with that.
Because you're irrelevant and you're an has-been. You're done, aren't you? You're a former undisputed champion, which means diddly squat to someone who's current.
Former undefeated.
Yeah. So listen, it's all good stuff to have.
It is.
But for me, I ain't really that bothered about what people think or say.
One of the things I wanted to ask you about was like the humble foundations that you carry with you at all times, because I think it's really rare for anybody in the public eye on your level to be able to switch between Morecambe doing the big shop and then global superstar in front of the entire world.
From Asda in Morecambe Bay to here on top of the job.
How do you switch on and off?
I've got two things, haven't I? I've got the Gypsy King, who's the boxer, and I've got Tyson Fury, who's the father and the husband and the dog shit picker-upper and all that, yeah? So it's quite a contrast. However, it works quite well, to be fair. When I'm in Gypsy King mode, I'm talking to cameras and interviews and doing what I've got to do and performing what I get paid to do. But when I'm at home, I'm just a dad. 7 kids, a wife, nagging wife, may I put on that? Nagging wife, barking dog, crazy kids. You've seen the show. I don't live no big fancy lifestyle. All right, I might go on a boat or a plane every once in a while, but I don't really leave Morecambe Bay, to be fair. Just got a very mundane, repetitive lifestyle, which I like because I've done all the erratic, crazy stuff in my life already, and I know no good can ever come out of it. However, structured routine, getting up in the morning early, getting the kids ready, dropping them off, going to the gym, going having some food, coming back, picking them up, going to the gym again, getting to bed early, that's what I love. Although I'm not seeing the world and years pass me by quickly, from like 18 to 24 in a flash, I really enjoy just pottering around doing nothing, being a normal person, which is fantastic. And there's a lot to be said for being a normal person, Frank.
Tell me.
In today's world, everybody wants to be famous and everyone wants to be a millionaire. But I'm both of them things, and I don't think it's that great. It's overrated. Fame is one thing until you've got it, then you don't want it. because you can't go anywhere. Like, where can I go? Saying to Paris earlier, like, she goes, oh, it's lovely to come here. And Brendan said, it's lovely to come out here, isn't it? But you couldn't do it in the UK. I couldn't do this because I get tortured. So that's to contend with.
You're sitting down eating in a restaurant.
And they're grabbing you by the head and
coming
stuff.
over, like even that a couple of times down the hotel.
Yeah.
They want photos done. You're trying to eat.
But it's all a part of the job, isn't it?
It's part of the job, but people should also respect space. You know, if you're with your family, they should respect that
That's
space.
very true, but they don't, however, because my wife's explained this to me. If I'm out having my Sunday roast and I've got one crying kid down trying to sort out one there and she's arguing across the table with me and a fan walks in, they don't see what's going on. They just see me, that like the person they know from the television or the fan or whoever, and they just go, oh, this is my opportunity, wham! They don't see what's going on. They don't see the bigger picture. They just see the person. So there's no... I used to get like pretty upset about it all, but when she explained it to me like that, I thought, you know what? That's 100% right.
One of the difficult things, I guess, about being an elite competitor, because it goes hand in hand with it, doesn't it? You don't necessarily want to be famous, but it comes with being a champion.
I think the champion and the boxing's one thing aside, but I think I've gone way above and beyond all that type of thing. With all the TV shows and Netflix things and songs and wrestling and
books,
three of them, and Paris has done 2
books.
as well.
Yeah.
Even my dad's got one out. So yeah, and then you got Tommy and Molly as well and the baby. So it's like a bit of a celebrity thing going on now, which I'm not that up for, to being a celebrity. You know what I mean? I just want to be left alone, type of thing. I want to walk my dog in peace, not be videoed and tortured wherever I go, and that's it really. That's about it.